welcome back to the Quick FACEIT Masters co-stream here. We're hopefully looking to bring you a matchup between the newly signed Quick Esports team, formerly known as Gibble Mirai, versus the underdogs Alternate Pytel. Now, a lot of people made the mistakes of underestimating Alternate Pytel in the expert division, and yes, they would not had the most, outrageous performance so far. It would be a mistake to repeat such an illusion and assume that they are not a threat. So that said, this is important again for Quick to maintain their momentum and keep themselves aiming for that top two. And there's anyone that I'm more happy to be joined with to witness this attempt, it's going to be the lovely Yaffa. How are you doing on this fine evening? What are you looking forward to in this upcoming matchup?
Oh, I mean, there are so many things that I am looking forward to. This is a team that I've not really casted for before either, and so it's going to be interesting for me, particularly for both of these teams, to see how these are going to be playing out, what kind of habits and the like they have. You have already given me a little bit of a rundown of that, and I am looking forward to some of those those balls, those Briggs, those Zens. It's going to be really interesting for me to kind of see that showdown in this match for sure. And like you were saying, Quick Esports is not someone to be, sniffed at, to be shied away from. They have done an amazing job so far in the current Masters Series. They're currently fourth, which is an excellent placement, if I'm going to be honest. You've got some really great teams in Masters Division right now. So just being able to get into that fourth position is already a great point to be working forwards from in future seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to be aiming for, realistically second here, Vision are almost unfathomably in first place so far at the moment, as you'd expect with the star power behind those names. But while you also need to be thinking about how do you beat those ridiculously big, already cemented names with their legacies behind them, you also need to keep your own momentum going as a new up-and-coming player with less people know about you, and also be ready to fight off similar teams that are rising up through the ranks. Alternate Pytel, one of those teams, for certain, much more known for their heavy brawl style. If we see Rocket in, we have to expect at least much more of a ground tech, but also Time coming into the roster here could open up things a bit more, but I'm expecting to still see, given the rest of the heroes they play, more of that brawl style. That said, Diva being hovered. Tibiscuit, though, great to see them back on the map, and Cheeseburger, the Strathers Onyx NSE player as well. We saw a lot of the Sims, the Torbjorn from Nate from them, and maybe the Torb for the style of Poison. Quick, though, running their classic ball style here. I believe, I'm not 100% certain, I think it's confirmed or not, that Rory is no longer in the roster. So Quick now, all their chickens are in the Golden Pants basket, and especially with that Freya ban, Fenris is going to be on the Cassidy. This interesting mix-ups of styles here, and this clash of the two styles. A lot more of a aggressive multi-hits with the styles of Warcomp, super mobile. Also, if I tell, much more ground and much more, heavy ball style.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Quick Esports, they're going to be trying to have a lot of communication with each other. You've got that Tracer, you've got Anna picking up a kill already. As one of the teams, Pytel here, in the other side underneath, getting slightly isolated here by Quick Esports, already able to, fortunately, knock one player here. As Quick Esports are able to study, do some damage, and trying to get a couple extra kills. Unfortunately, though, it's looking a little bit dire for Quick Esports here, as Team Pytel here able to get a extra kill already.
Fenris is going to move over onto the Ash, because they're very well known for. But yeah, Quick Esports comp, they're going to have a bit of struggle into this. Like, this Diva is really going to make Ice's life on the Ana difficult. In fact, Whitebeard's basically saying, you're on your own. They're going all in on helping his angles with Yalari, no longer having a Lucio pocket to try and speed around the Ana. Evil, Golden Pound trying to tag team, get some angles up on this back. And also Patel struggling to rotate onto this backline, onto this squishier core from Quick Esports. So he steps and keeps coming through. That said, they still hold on to the point. So a Darkbreath on the Cassie, the follow-up shot from Pastime. Evil's full. That's a major domino now tumbling down. Quick, they don't really have much aggression to kind of follow up on these slides, so they're just being stuck on this high ground. Nano is ready, but he's struggling to keep himself alive. But Will now stepping online and raging. Something to find. He'll find Darkbreath. The pack there just barely on time.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate there. Quick Esports still finally get an opportunity to cap this point, but unfortunately, Pytel are going to be having a little bit of an option, using the Diva bomb there to remake, no doubt. Are able to get a couple of kills, but this Diva's just being such a menace on the point right now, staying alive and just keeping it in turn, no matter how hard they're trying.
Yeah, I just a dominant showing there coming out. Like, this are the mechanics of these players, like, fully coming out to flourish here. Golden Pants trying to look for an early setup here, maybe with the mines. The more you can hit this Pytel core before they get to the point, the better, because when they get on that point, they're very hard to shake loose. Golden Pants trying to go for the slam here, mines out. And it is good though to snipe the slam, but the team has been split, and Fenris carves open that half rather. For themselves. They're finding 2 off the back of it. Only 1 ult used there as well, but also Pytel going to be coming back with 4 ults of their own.
Yeah, actually, there was a beautiful execution there by Quick Esports getting off that quick pick there. You know, that ball, the ultimate there really helped to just squish them into one tiny little spot, and the rest of the team could all barrel in and make sure and secure those kills. Unfortunately, an ultimate comes out here from the side of Pytel. The rally is going to be doing amazing work here, isolating, unfortunately, Fenrir in the corner there, and they are going to go down. It's going to have to leave Quick Esports there, no doubt having to pack the bags just a little bit, as Pytel capturing the point.
Yeah, the Bob, unfortunately, they're not able to save Fenrir's life. It's actually Golden Pants that got caught out first by that rally from Katos. And that's just how punishable you are on this composition into them. So you're going to have to do a lot of work with support ult here. This could tick into a final fight situation. 80% online. Golden Pants has to be the wedge that finds a crack in the team, finds the kind of split, but it's going to be on Fenris or the support ult with a hammer that turns that into a real wound of sort. The window coming up early, nano boost again onto Golden Pants, just spinning on through absolutely mechanical demon so far, and just managing to disrupt the entire ult of Pytel. And in the chaos, Fenris and co have found the rest of their kills. Golden Pants keeping his supply as best he can. There is a remake almost available for pastime, but I'm very surprised to see it get used, because they're just going to have to regroup here. They got themselves a nice 9%. They got 2 ults out of Quick Esports, and they're going to come back with 2 ults of their own.
Yeah, actually, honestly, a great play here from Quick Esports being able to do what they did there. They all did well as well in their teamwork, isolating that Brigitte and not trying to let her stay alive. Same with the Diva as well. But unfortunately, Diva turns down already before the fight really starts. And it's immediately an ultimate coming up from both sides. But Golden Pants here is able to find 3 kills, in fact. White Bread coming in as well with a bonus kill there, leaving just a couple of members of Pytel remaining. And I just don't think they're going to be able to cap. And that is kind of the last fight territory for them. They're going to be really struggling to get onto point to maybe anything to try and get this first battle.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a massive ult from Cheeseburger here, but what we can do is try and deny the point. Evil is now back, Spike set onto Biscuits, Capital's returning onto Lucio as well. The peel is good though for them to keep their main source getting alive. Eagle actually might find themselves getting punished, but no, will be surviving now. Ultimate Pytel are the ones in control of the point. Golden Pants has to scurry away, but just not in time. The rat gets caught out, and all of a sudden, Ultimate Pytel can manage to turn this one almost around. Cheeseburger with the ult, denying so much. The panic swaps as well, coming through, and Quick, they looked in control, but those the trades became oh so messy into that composition. Like, yes, you have so much, punching power, so many different angles you can control, but also the Pytel just have such a stable core. They have so much damage to pump out. And also Pytel, the underdogs, coming out with the first point win so far, but I think that is a very difficult point to make the ball work on. This point for Oasis should be a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah, I do think so. You've got a lot more maneuverability and options to position yourself. Whereas in the previous round, as you were saying, it just doesn't really favor the ball quite so well, just because of the geometry of the map. And unfortunately, that's not something you can change in this game mode. It's not Marvel Rivals where you can just blast open buildings as you wish. But the ball is once again coming out, using that teleport to try and get there as quickly as possible to give themselves a good advantage and positioning. They see where they are coming from, and I hope we might see some environmental kills coming on soon.
Yeah, those cars can be pretty lethal. Right now, the angle, they're just trying to be opened up ever so softly by Quick on the side. Slam going to come in. Turret has been taken down. You can see also Pytel just bunkering inside this snow, looking for where the next rotation can be, or how they can secure onto this point. Nice E coming out from Time on this Diva, and Golden Pants currently even testing the point. This crit perk from the boop is just oh so deadly for any tank to face into. It would be a great way to try and disrupt things, but that's Xerox. Yet again, I've seen this guy fully been rising up the ranks and currently making his name all on the right side of the kill feed. Rembrandt on silver HP as well. Looks to be almost a full-scale retreat, almost able to slide away to safety. Maybe the sleep will get a trade here or something, but it's looking still pretty rough. The nade is good though, and if Ace can live, been a nice trade to get, but you do leave the D.Va D-Mech. You can get a kind of a read going, it's gonna be pretty nice. Attempted little tech there from Golden Pants, but he just has to chunk through so many resources, so much HP.
Yeah, he really does as well. It was a nice little attempt there by Quick Esports to position themselves early and in a good position at the start of the fight, but alternative Pytel, they just were able to outmaneuver them in the end. That D.Va and all the other kind of resources, they were just able to burn them out stunning from Quick Esports. More fights are coming online here as Quick Esports begin to try and recontest a little bit, regrouping with the Ashe here on the high ground, trying to, use that high ground as a great advantage. Tracer trying to pick off some support and DPS on the side.
Oh
no!
Yeah, we found the meat with the cheeseburgers. Evil's just been absolutely minced there by the headshot. Also, Pytel still building up. So that said, you should expect Quick Esports to have, in theory, these stronger ultimates here. Ace with the double nano boost available as well. Also, Pytel, they can start out with a lot, but it's all about the space control for them. They can't really overlap them here either. There's a nano ball yet again coming in. Lamp forced out already. Window out now, Farm to Biscuit trying to stabilize through, but Golden Pants think that very difficult to use with all of this roofage. The advantage I think to Biscuit as well, Evil is there to almost get the kill, but nice escape from him. Bomb has been forced, Bob also disintegrated, but the trades are going the way of Quick Esports. Bob the only casualty in that fight, never mind Fenris will be following their beloved Butler there. At the time, the last standing up, but almost 80% taken there for alternate Pytel.
Yeah, you are putting yourselves in a bit of a bad position here. I mean, it only really takes one fight win from Pytel here to take the first map. This second round is not going to be looking quite so good. But they do have 3 ults online for Quick Esports, and they did do an excellent job of whittling down those players in the previous fight. I wonder if they're going to be able to do it again. The ultimate comes out here from the Alari. He's able to find, unfortunately, only one, but everybody else making quick work of the team as they start to struggle.
Yeah, you can see there that just the power of the ball come. Like, there's one quick engagement there, you force out flash, you force out region burst, some packs here, there, and then within like a couple of seconds, you have another hit coming in with an ultimate. And I mean, Golden Pants is going even earlier to try and get maybe this rally out, this high noon, or again, just any of those kind of strong racers that Pytel need to live these engagements. Pytel also, though, looking to try and see if they can strike back. They don't want to let the dive get too good and just be impossible. So they're there to plan, there's the shield to rally out in response. Passan has been isolated, and Katos, even in the rally, falls down oh so quickly. That's a good trade coming out from Daze onto Evil. So now Pytel still have a chance to, pull together this fight, but it could take into a final one here.
It really could. I mean, it is looking like last fight territory soon here. 80% capture percentage here for Quick Esports. That's a little delay and isolation worked wonders for them, but they still are not finished with the team fight. All the members are still alive. Ultimate comes out here to nano the ball. Golden Pants doing work, trying to find the support, does so. And the rest of the team are just swarming around like flies on Pytel, and they are picking up the kills. And that is going to be a second round for Quick Esports, no doubt.
Yeah, Palam doesn't even get the bomb online here. No touch to come through. And Pytel, they could just never find themselves surviving those first couple hits. Like, you can see the idea with their composition that, they're very brawl heavy, very strong, and almost at, you would think immortal to the dives, but into this high level, into the nades from ice as well, like, it's almost impossible, and they could never really find their way onto those squishy, less mobile targets. The Lucio swap, I saw the idea, and I mean, Quick Esports have no speed, but they played the high grounds, they played the position so well, they got the hits so early that by the time you get onto the point or onto any of the actually killable targets from the side of Quick, it is, you are completely out of lifeblood. Now, though, we're going to see Katos maybe start here on the Lucio to keep things maybe sanitation. No, we'll stay on the Brigitte here, but, again, this is probably another tricky point to play the ball on. Much more enclosed spaces, a lot less opportunities to hit so early, but Golden Pants is still going to attempt to do so as all the Pytel walk through this choke here.
Yeah, you can see the idea with the Brig as well. You're trying to be, disrupting the Tracer and maybe the ball and all the other, critters for alternative Pi that are going to be swimming around on any particular hit, especially when it's going to be organized. The Lucio is not going to be working quite so well, so it makes sense to switch. Sure, they're faster character, but I think the Brigitte is just the right choice there. Long fight.
What a nade! Oh my, that was a four-man nade coming out from Ice. Very difficult into all the tools that Pytel have to deny it. But again, we saw the lamp being forced so early, and quick they know they just aren't trying to kill on these first couple of engagements. They're trying to force those resources and get those second lives out. The boot from Golden Pants to slow down the death of Pastime as well. And he's built himself a whole damn minefield in this, just that first engage.
Oh, that is absolutely crazy. To have a minefield in that engagement, all those little things as well. I mean, Esports are playing this incredibly well. It's something that I've definitely noticed in the way that they've been playing. They're really trying to, force out a lot of those utilities, and they're trying to go for those quick engagements. And so far, they are doing such an amazing job out of it. When it works, it is working so beautiful. Huge nade again! Oh!
They are able to survive, but force out a lot of time here, and actually have to rotate all the way through the inside here. You can see the paranoia that Quicker inflicting on, like, you have to go through every enclosed space possible, and fortunately, like they just to force out Nanoboost is available. Mine with the slam that on the dart, there's no way to survive that, and also to just get caught in that one. Katos next on the chopping block, his shield will only buy him a mere stay of execution, and Pastime is sleeping on the job, boot away the shields too. This baby D.Va is going to be staggered such a long time. The body block as well to ensure no messy trades come out. And now look how far past that. Look how long he has to spend to get all the way through. It's going to be like 70% by the time he gets to reset there. And yeah, this could be this final fight now very tricky for Pytel. That said, still quite the ult advantage to be walking into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on these maps where the ball is just a lot stronger, you can really see how their game plan is coming into action. They're just getting so much value as well out of all of their utility. You see the nades getting 4 or 5 people, and already, for that means they just can't engage. I mean, huge pulse bomb already almost trying to find one. Unfortunately, it's saved, but forcing out already the lamp, and now everybody else just piles in. They got no lamp to save them. Who else is going to save them? Your health pool? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and the D.Va bomb is basically cosmetic. There's still 2 ults sitting in the bank for Pytel, but they're going to stay there for the rest of this map. 100-0 for that final one to close us out here on Control. 2-1 for Quick Esports to get them the first map win. That said, 2 pretty big bans expended for Inside. I think the bans definitely very impactful coming in, especially much more for Quick now. I'm assuming that I'm still waiting on some confirmation, but we'll have to see on if Rory's only in the lineup. But the Orisa ban taken away is still pretty impactful. But with the the domination that Quick Esports put out in that final map, I think even if there's an Orisa in the mix, I don't think that would change it all too much. They just have the theory, they know how to play it to perfection. Even on the a waste that isn't super typically good for that kind of stuff, they make it work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Orisa is probably not something that you want to necessarily play against, especially as a ball. There's definitely certain kind of tanks and heroes that are going to be shutting down the way that you're going to be playing and want to play that. I mentioned very briefly at one point about Brig doing a great job at shutting down attackers that will come into your backline, like a Tracer, like Sombra, things like that, which are just going to be really annoying for you in the backline. But unfortunately, their entire team is built around that, and there's only so many characters that you can pick. And if you ban one where Orisa is sort of trying to pull all the team together in kind of how she sort of plays, it kind of makes sense with some of the utilities that she provides and the kind of brawliness that you can sort of encourage. I'm not so sure if Orisa is necessarily quite as strong on some of the other ones or shuts down the ball quite so much, but we'll have to see, because obviously in Control you are controlling a set zone much more in a different way than you are in the other game modes.
Yeah, I mean, Pastime in the lineup as well, clearly that's been brought in specifically for the D.Va, the tanks that the more mobile tanks that Crocker is not mostly known for. But whilst bans and hero picks as a whole can shape the game, of course, what the game is shaped around the objective on the point, and that's going to be Escort coming in here with Circuit Royale. If there's any map you want to play against the Bull team, probably going to be Circuit Royale. Very difficult to make that work, and with Golden Pants staying in the lineup, that is going to be the style of choice most likely to be expected. I mean, Golden Pants has been getting more flexible. I mean, I think that guy's hit like Champ on Winston and whatnot pretty recently, of course. Might even play, we saw him play the Alari back when Rory was playing the Sigma against, I believe it was another team, might have been someone I completely haven't forgotten was the opening pick. But yeah, this is gonna be a real test. I would be surprised to see Quick not go with the ball still, even though all my sense is saying yes, please ban the ball, or not ban the ball. Don't play the ball. The Rhine ban coming out and the Widow ban coming out. I mean, makes some sense. Like I guess because maybe they thought Grok was going to be a lot. Grok has kind of been known for his Rhine here and there, but no, it's still going to be Path time coming into play. And the Widow ban, I guess, just it is more just a comfort thing. Like you don't want to be forced to mirror the Widow. You're not going to play the Widow, so just ban her yourself and let your hit scans play their more comfortable choices.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by the Rhine ban, honestly. I mean, it kind of really depends on what you're trying to go for. I would think that Sigma would be a more common choice for Circuit Royale compared to, say, Rhine. Widow, of course, very popular on this map as well. And I mean, if you have even just one mechanically gifted player who's like one of those sort of platinum players that seems to just have spent all the time in aim trainer and just never anything else, then you know, you want to be banning that Widow, right? Especially on this map. There are so many nasty little spots that you can be and play. So, you know, I think that does make sense that Widowmaker ban. The Reinhardt ban, I'm not quite so sure about it. But
okay.
As you're saying, though, about not going for the, you know, not playing ball. Alternative to banning ball, you pick a map that's just bad for ball. You're just going to be putting yourself in a far stronger position than that.
I was gonna say, oh, you know, Quick banned Rhine to stop the ball ban, but I'm being told by Evil that he didn't realize he could ban even though he's not the captain. So I guess just you know, a spark of inspiration for Evil. Just something has gripped his soul and told him ban Rhine on. So I mean, we did see Falcons play Rhine for like a minute in China with Hanbin on Reinhardt, so maybe we don't mention that. But yeah, I mean, Sigma is still a great pick on this map. Maybe more than new age picks, you know, are the Orisa. In fact, even the Ramatch or Diva as well. Pastime staying, and maybe even next to see some of that, just because of I get how it's shifted. Never mind, Rory is in the lineup still. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Wikipedia is just a big old lie. Rory is going to be playing in for the team. So I imagine we will see an Orisa, we will see some kind of a Sigma pick, which I guess takes a lot of the pressure off of Quick, right? Like, yes, you take away their ball ban, but they all take away their ball pick rather, and you save your ball ban, but they have still looked equally good with Rory in the lineup, just of course with that very different style.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're switching out your main tank player for someone else, and I mean, I think that this team has an amazing job at communicating. So I don't think there's going to be seeing any real problems there, even if they are having to choose a little bit of a different play style. I'm not entirely sure what they'd be going for. Obviously, you mentioned, you know, the Sigma, and I do think Sigma would probably be the right pick here, especially after, you know, at the amazing high IQ ban that went on the Riot. I mean, you are, you know, but the Sigma sort of lends themselves more to the sort of snipers and kind of supporting them, and I don't know. I'm a little bit muddled on my thoughts right now for these maps and these heroes.
Yeah, I expect. I mean, like if we're gonna see like a team fully commit into like Sigma and whatnot, like you would expect a Ram ban, and then the team would kind of force to play Ryan if they want to kind of to run you over in that sort of style. But that's
right,
but we ban is still on.
Yeah, because we didn't see a Ram ban, so like, you know.
Yeah.
Why try and predict that? But...
Yeah. I think we'll have to imagine here like some kind of more, I guess, more kind of flexible. I don't know. Like I think the Widow ban is their ban, which makes a lot of sense. From what I know from Daze, he is mostly more comfortable on the Cassidy. I remember when I last saw him on Arius. Oh, we're in! Oh my god, it's a Zarya mirror! It's a Zarya mirror!
Zarya mirror! Yeah, I love Zarya. A little bit of a different character. We're also quite far in already. The first point has already been captured by the team of Pytel. which is doing great. And the most have ultimates as well online. Quick Esports going for that Freya pick. Hopefully we'll be able to see ultimates coming online here by Quick Esports. They are being used to great effect, finding 2-3 kills with the ultimate Pytel already committing one of their speed smash ultimates. I don't think it's going to be finding anyone really.
Okay, so we are in a timeline. The stream is definitely struggling from some kind of, remnant temporal energy or something for the time travel back to whenever Zarya is on this map. And we do see Zarya in Korea a fair bit, but did not fully expect to see it come out here.
No,
I guess the Rhine ban, it's you can maybe justify that. The rest, Zarya is certainly not good into that character, but even with the barrage on top of the TP, I mean, Cheeseburger just gift wraps up the entire rest of the core there, and Fenris takes out Cat as well. Dark just kind of left stranded all alone, watching on the horror as the rest of their team get torn apart. Does get a trade though, Rory, that jump up puck and chase down Tibiscuit right there at the end. But yeah, Ultimate Pytel moved forward a fair down bit. It's going to be down to the ults yet again. Katos with an orbital wave. Rory, of course, though, with the Graviton Surge. A pretty straightforward answer. And White getting aggressive. Takes out Darze as well. Now full B5. Maybe Quick want to push the advantage, but no, they will just back off a little bit and play this very strong high ground for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zarya was not something that I was ever really going to be expecting on this map, but we also going to be careful as well with that Zarya. You don't want to be giving them too much charge, and they can really be getting a huge amount of charge as well in quick succession. I mean, look at this. They're just going to already be melting away 70% charge, and Evil, they're in the high ground, in the sky, is blasting away, getting those kills, making great use as well of that ultimate there, of the gravitational world. It means that they didn't really have to commit all that too much. They just used one big ultimate, get the kill early. In fact, they actually left them come quite close to the car, and that's just, a great little micro adjustment that you just really want to be pulling out to try and maximize the time that these players have to attack.
Yeah, now it's going to be Tibiscuit unleashing that Captain Sun, trying to find a connection. Already some trades have come out. Both Junos have fallen. Whitebeard, though, trying to strike back and get the Alari dip here. Whitebeard, though, will be taken out. That time Tibiscuit traded, though. Rory is absolutely putting on a light show at the moment. Full charge, but no real bubbles to keep himself up and found low HP. So we'll surely win this fight. It is a bit of a tricky to tell. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main difference is obviously the Ram now coming out into play, but this Symmetra versus this Pharah, yes, Ultimate Pytel can just cheat these rotations and go under. They will have, of course, that late fight threat pressure with the tier 3 beam, but in a long fight where Evil is able to kind of poke freely, they will just kind of win that by default. The pull there kind of gets baited away. Pytel still falls down, and the orbital reinvestment here from Ice 2 to clean this one up.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of extra confetti on the screen, making this a little bit hard to see what precisely is going on. But I think you did an excellent breakdown there as well. Evil, unfortunately, getting baited out with that. But the pulse, though, is an excellent choice. But we do see a switch over to Ramatra, something that I was been more expecting from the very beginning. And they're going to be trying to use that as much as possible. The way that Ramatra sort of plays is probably going to be an interesting way into the rest of that team, though.
Unfortunately, the bowler shot does go wide, and never mind, Darze trying to unleash his own, does still get caught by Rory there. Rory now picking the spotter bug there, that might not be trying to spot something in the grab, and actually 3 seconds ticking down. This fight has just completely gone by. It's almost been a bit of a chill luxury to watch Quick to kind of take that by storm there. And even though the start of it was, apparently quite strong, the Quick propaganda has gone very well. We've not seen any of that, and we've just seen Quick completely halt the momentum. They didn't get a single meter going forward from that first kind of fight win, it seems. Esports just able to play this game. We know how historically strong Pharah is on this map, especially first point, but second point still a lot of just immense pressure, all that splash damage, really making Pytel's life difficult, even when they can just TP on those rotations, making those fights a bit quicker. But yeah, interesting to see the Zarya kind of seeping into EMEA here as our path time, going back onto the Ramatra as well. I think interesting as well because, like you said, the Ram earlier on has a lot more of a straightforward playstyle that you really can threaten Rory. Like, once Rory uses a bubble anywhere, you can just walk onto them and blow up their second bubble and just disintegrate them in any moment longer. That said, once the Zarya gets her second perk, which is why we're so surprised to see Rory having the spotter perk instead. Once she gets that beam perk, she will just make your backline really struggle to do anything. But we're going to see Patton go over to Sigma instead and see, they've clearly listened into the stream and for what you have planted. So again, all in now on ranged poke. The May transfer those engages, Darze on the Ash as well for dynamites to punish any clumps from Quick. And Quick going to stick with what got them that second point hold.
Yeah, it's very interesting actually that you quickly mentioned that. I mean, sure, you do have that main, you're going to be trying to isolate off some of those kind of closer range engagements to try and give your team a bit of a better option, or to isolate them away to try and give yourself a little bit more time to back off away from this. Obviously, they're not going to be starting with too many perks beginning, but perks is an interesting choice. Do you make a picking choice? Like, do you choose a particular hero precisely because of the perks?
I mean, I think that's part of what Hatsplam saw. Like, you saw the spotter perk, you saw like your major concern on Ram is having your backline burst down behind you, and that's on the table. And again, that's more straightforward playstyle. I mean, even with the Sigma perk, like if we see, I'm not sure how effective like the sucking gives you rock quicker back in League as well. We're seeing Rory is just pummeling through the shield, pummeling through the grass. Hatsplam, critical HP. Tibiska though, so much healing, has built himself up a captive stun here, but gonna have to be a big one as the tank has fallen almost as though we're going for it there, but anything better. But as Rory again finds the 3k, Evil trying to find that fade away onto Kathos as well, who's currently cowering Veer on the back there. Evil, the Gen Z attention span is striking pretty hard as his critical thinking and object permanence has failed. Kathos, I think, is still behind them maybe. Or have they got... Never mind, Whitebeard's found them. And Rory, Hunter Charge, has found Darze, and a nice little perch to just completely bird of right down the top of this. Has been a massacre so far from Quick onto Pytel.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is exceptionally quick. Quick Esports, in fact, paying homage to their brand name, Quick Esports, being quick here. I mean, Rory's just building up so much charge, like practically for free, and just melting through so many people. You've got Evil going on the back lines and the sides, on the off angles, finding his kills, using ultimates. Oh, just waste two! Waste two kills anyway. Oh.
That's just criminal. Like, you should... Getting one kill was already nasty. Getting rocked and living away, and... Oh, I can almost feel the grab coming there, but still a little bit to go. One person on the point. Could maybe get one more touch through with the box, but they've lost Kathos. No orbital rate to be found, and now the grab on to Pack Time as well. Can't even use that flush. An ace. Just rubbing salt on the wound with that orbital ray. No touch to come through. Absolute sweep onto the alternate Pytel core there, and Esports take the second win in almost record time.
Yeah, I mean, using that gravitational, I thought that seems a bit greedy, but actually, they've only got a few more seconds to go before they capture that card and win the second map here in this series. Looking good so far for Quick Esports. They have been quick on all of these engagements, quick on the kills, quick on the fights, and it's been doing exceptionally well, all the better for them. I mean, I think they had the ability to just go so far aggressive that the team Pytel just hadn't had any opportunity, didn't have any to really contest the point, because the team fight was going on like near their spawn. There just wasn't any opportunity after they just built up, and Quick Esports just had a snowball rolling, and they kept it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the confidence just fully in bloom now for Quick. Like, after a bit of a shaky, I believe it is Chris theory, like when you almost barely win round one, then something like that, a less than perfect control round, and I mean, wasn't perfect on Circuit Royale. There were definitely some goofs going on, but still pretty damn close to it. Like, you just stomp on through, 4 minutes to spare, and you stop the cap at the second point and just roll your way on through. So this is the level that we expect Quick to be playing at. Pytel, they are punching up here, and Quick are just pummeling on them back down. You're always still in the lineup, offering, I guess that is the main concern with this Quick Esports roster, is if the ball is gone, what do they do? But the question, clearly has an answer, and that is Rory playing the Zarya style, which, I'm happy to see, because I don't see it all too much, at first hand, and we're seeing, being played in Korea. But yeah, Quick now on series point here to put alternate Pytel down 3-0. But still, I wouldn't count them out just yet. Like, yes, that was a very strong showing. Pytel, they have the mental fortitude to keep going. They clearly have the fight to keep them in, and they're going to be subbing in RDY over Cheeseburger, I believe. So no more of the mad
Tourbillon.
No more of the Tourbillon, no more of the Sim, no more of the ranked head migraine picks. But RDY, I'm guessing, would be more towards the Tracer. I have to imagine here.
Yeah, I think actually these kind of oddball picks that you might occasionally see, I just don't think they really work quite as well. They don't have the quite same as effect as you might have seen within, you know, Overwatch 1, for example. I just feel like, especially with these perks as well, the kind of oddball picks just don't really make sense. I think you just got to pick the strong meta heroes like almost all the time, rather than sort of going for these like sort of one-off strategies that sort of are kind of niche and have their own sort of niche interactions with everything.
I think it is, you know, it is a risk reward. Like, you are playing, you know, not the most outwardly or straightforward competition to play around, but there is still, you know, merit in playing, I think, those more oddball things, because A teams are not super used to them. And like, if anyone can make them work, it is Cheeseburger. Like, it's just a different, I guess, play style you have to adapt and play around. Like, you're not mirroring the Tracer yourself, but we saw, you know, Evil was really struggling. Like, yes, there was no, you know, angle marking to punish Evil, so that is kind of a different style situation. But I think it just comes down to your own adaptations and your own play styles. So yes, you know, now we're seeing RDY come in, Cheeseburger's out, they are going to move away from that style. But I think, you know, also Pytel did have some bright spots still here and there. Now, though, we are going to be going in to Suravar. So the Bull ban has been deployed, and Golden Pants is in. Sim ban out for the side of Quick Esports here, and Jacob now also into the lineup.
Yes, indeed. I believe Jacob was.
Oh no! Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. Are you quick? We said their confidence was in full bloom. That was not true. Clearly, it is now in full bloom. It's gonna be Evil coming in on tank and Golden Pants on the DPS. Golden Pants is, yes, a champion DPS player himself. Jacob also meets line up, mostly known for their Brig. Pretty much only their Brig is what we expect to see them play. But still, this is something. This is some mental warfare, to say the least.
I mean, I guess this ball is a little bit of an Achilles heel, but given how quickly they pick those heroes, I think this might be something that this team has actually prepared for in the past. Sure, you're not ball anymore, you're Tracer. You do have to, you know, consider the fact that you have so less HP, but there is kind of some overlap in how you might want to try and play, the kind of things and goals you're trying to achieve. And a ball does tend to work well with the Orisa, kind of trying to combo each other. So I'm not too surprised about some of these decisions. I'm just, you know, I guess, yeah, you are. I think you're definitely right about this here. But they're all on point though. Pytel, and they are doing a good job. They were doing a good job. Never mind, they are losing members left, right, and center. As Quick Esports coming in, and they are cleaning the mess. They are going to be capping this point quickly.
Yeah, JCCP just started spectating to witness the crime scene currently unfolding. I mean, yeah, like, Golden Pants just finds a way into the backline. Like, this bat versus this Juno is an interesting matchup to the least. Obviously, you're going more for the speed and I guess for the inherently stronger ult, but Ace has already built up their window here, and they are just going to pump out so much damage and pressure onto the front line. Also, the dual their sidelines as well. Speed ring having to be used to disengage there. So Quick, doing better at holding space. They're going to have to rotate a lot earlier though than, you know, to basically kind of just cheat speed everyone along. That said, it seems to be that also Pytel are going to be going the left side angle here. So Quick going to try and hurry on the way, but Golden Pants almost going to claim life body way. Has the pulse bomb. Maybe not to get a connection here, that would be absolutely disastrous. Always 70% for them here. They do also have the Terraforce coming out to Conquer, but Biscuit and Pastime coming up on their own two big ults as well.
Yeah, those two big ultimates are going to be surely valuable to them. Ultimates coming online though here from Evil. He's trying to move on. I mean, I think it did all that it needed to do. Biscuit, unfortunately, uses theirs and comes to a quick death. The ultimate comes out as well from the side of Pata, but it's just not enough. That's how we use two of the ultimates, and unfortunately don't come out on top. Quick Esports, though, I mean, they used those ultimates and they wedged in an advantage, and they found that.
Yeah, I have to agree with your pronunciation of pastime there, because there is no time for dilly-dally. There is no time here for the ultimate Pytel to make anything work. Even in the overtime, even with 2 of their own ults on the line, and Quick Esports investing, I think only the bonus shot maybe on the Terror Surge even, they just get wasted there. RDY though trying to find things to play, just get immediately stunned out. Fenris with the follow-up, Golden Pants finding Daze off to the side as well, and it's just all over for Pytel. So the mental game was good, but this is definitely a challenge for that. They have the window to play off with it now. Bowler shot as well. Katos with the rally. It's going to have to do some redeeming here, but Evil and Golden Pants scheming a flank here, which what Pace is eager to give away. Now trying to hunt down the Tracer, and as a Meteor lost all of their armor, so here's the engagement going to come through. Give me a big play from Ace or something. Stepping around. So much damage out to Pastime as well. Daze finds a good trade. The second one off to Jacob there as well. Rally invested too. Out his third as well through the window there. The opposition's window of all things.
Yeah, I mean, that was the right decision there to charge through that window. They're not letting it kind of scare them away into hiding around the corners. Charge into them, get those kills, and they got those kills. But they're still going to be a little bit on the back foot. I mean, Quick Esports have already captured at to 50%. That's quite a bit of time. I mean, sure, the capture percentage does go a lot quicker than in King of the Hill, but it's not going to be quite so, you know, so much of a lead anymore. With some ultimates coming online from both of these teams, full swap coming out. It finds a kill onto Pata time. It is their time, unfortunately, to head back to spawn as an Orma ultimate comes online, finds 2 beautiful ultimates from Evil, and they are going to be quickly cleaning them up.
Yeah, like Patatime is just completely isolated there. Like there's no one around. They run out of cooldowns. They get Bowler shot for good measure as well. And Quick, you know, they might not be on ball, but they still want to take the fight nice and early. Their spear goes a bit wide. Investment here of the spear skin in as well. So you don't have to find something. And never mind, does it gets to be beamed from the side. The Pincer coming through with a flanking, almost flanking Aressa. Fenris fighting to Biscuit there, the main source of healing down. No Orbital Raid to combo with anything. No Terror Surge either as Patatime falls down. It's 2-0. Series point here, Flashpoint point. And there's almost no point in investing those ults for Ultimate Pytel at this time because it just doesn't seem to be working. Quick have their number. They're going to have another Bowler shot on the window here as well. So even if they win a battle with that, they might lose the war. That said, RDY striking back onto Golden Pants might give them the first cap here, but still the points are unlocked there.
No, it's not unlocked, but it is going to put one of their members down just a little bit for a little bit of time. They're going to have to try and use that to their advantage and pick up some kills, win the team fight. But unfortunately, it's not seems to be going quite in their favor just yet. Sure, the lab has been used, but they're just not able to find any kills in relation to that early pick.
Golden Pants. Oh, okay. That's just a pure ego play there. Window out from A. No lamping himself up, but doesn't need at the moment. There's going to be back and off the way, but they can't get any kills off just yet. Jacob find cap the Evil falling. Now Jacob is stepping up as the new tank. Golden Pants takes out the Biscuit as well. So honestly, Jacob might have the more staying power than the Aressa here. It looks to be just that as Fenris will find the finishing blow there. Orbital Ray not getting you the fight win there is pretty rough. So now all you're going to have is that rally and that high noon. Quick Esports though only have the Terror Surge to work with.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I mean, you have seen Evil pull off at least a 2K once before, and I think perhaps, in quotation marks, true to the name once again, I think cyberbullying is definitely an evil thing. And they did a great job of that earlier on. Evil, with this ultimate, has really got a bit of a tough choice. I mean, when do you use it? It's kind of your only ultimate, because Pytel here, I've got 2 ultimates available to themselves. They've got this rally, which can provide huge survivability. And it's going to matter anyway. Look, this Golden Boy's in the backline. It's causing so much disruption.
No way. I mean, there's coming out. Somehow Patatime, did they get moved or something? They just fell over. Stick comes out, somehow kills Katos there, and Quick are just smelling blood in the water, hunting down poor old RBY. Daze still has the high knee. Anyone even get the touchdown through? Kathos has gone over now to the Lucio, which will have been forced. Rodway has find ace. Has the touch come through though? No, it hasn't. 3-0 for Flashpoint and 3-0 for map score. GG's all around. Ultimate Pytel put up a hell of a show, especially that first map there, but at the end, Quick are just proving themselves to be in the upper league, to be in contention for top 4. Gonna be GG's to Ultimate Pytel as Quick now advance, keep themselves in the top 4, possibly even entering top 3 now. Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty rough match for Ultimate Pytel.
Ooh, I mean, that was a quick series victory from Quick Esports. I think I've said that far too many times, but
I get it. No, it's part of being on the co-stream. It's all we do. I'm gonna be honest. It's like 80% of what we say.
I'm sure I will be quicker to come up with some different puns and jokes next time. Probably not exactly the funniest individual at all, but they did a great job there in that fight. They just were very consistent. They worked well as a team. They were able to, kind of harass Pytel there and kind of put a time limit on sort of the things that they could do. And they really worked that into their strategy, worked that into their victories in all of those team fights. Because I just don't think that Pytel had the best options available to them when they're kind of playing to esports' book of like when fights happen, what resources are used, the locations, all of these things were kind of those cards were in the hands of esports, and they played those cards well.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was hoping to see Grokka come into play. I do like seeing Grokka play. I think they're a very talented tank, but it's just not a good matchup for you. Like, you're playing into probably the best like ball team. I mean, Wasp I know is in contention, but like Quick Esports, are proving themselves to be in the upper echelon, and it's just not a fun matchup to play into that. Comp can hit you so many times and be so maneuverable while you're kind of very limited, very slow in your positioning. We saw Pastime, of course, coming in with the Diva makes more sense, but even when the rest come into play, it just was not all round that impressive of a showing. And Quick Esports walk away with the 3-0 win. Shout out to the sponsors as well for continuing to support them and promote more rising new talent there. Hummel, Gamepad, and Network Specialisten all coming in big to make this possible. And yeah, it's just great to see Quick to continue, answering those questions of can they fill those big shoes left behind by the previous roster. And at the moment, they are absolutely on the right track to do so. But we'll have to leave all of those theorizing for after the stream and for the next one coming up, the next match being, click here, it will show me hopefully, Super Shy to come up. Now, Super Shy did have a very close matchup against Ultimate Pytel 3-2, so again, you should expect a good showing coming out here from Quick Esports, but keep your eyes peeled for that to be coming up in 4 days. Until then though, thank you very much for joining me on this journey, Yappa. It's been great to have you on. And until then,
sorry, I was just saying it's been great to be here, and until next time, it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's good. I've got 4 days to practice my pronunciation of Specialist, and I'm sure I'm going to get schooled on by Tobias on that. But in the meantime, hope you will have a great rest of your week, and we'll hope to see you for the Super Shy matchup. Until then, that's all from the Quick broadcast here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.